Oh shit, we're back again. Nothing has happened while you've been gone. It's all been the same. I mean, stuff's come out, probably. I mean, we have... what actually has come out? I mean, the most relevant one is like, oh, the most recent IDs from this update are... You have Faust, and she has multiple arms. And then we have... I'll just give it a second. I gotta wait for the animation. Of course, we have to use these creatures in combat, so we will be seeing these anyway, and it doesn't matter. So we have the multi-crack office representative and the Dimension Shredder Otis. Fantastic. We also have this, which we already had those. We have this, which is not der Freischütz. This is just der Schütz. Oh no, this is der Flutshooter. I think. Fell bullet. That doesn't matter. I don't have it. It's fun enough. That's all that's really happened while we've been gone. Anyway, who's ready for a murder mystery on the Warp Express? The one train where... we already know this is gonna be happening. What the fuck do they mean by this? You can't be fucking coming to me and telling me that, like, oh, you know... It's such a big shocker. There's a murder on the murder train. Here's some chick in the background that I definitely didn't have to load a random cutscene to prevent the loading screens from being spoilers. I believe P Corp is the furthest north we've been in a while. Like, we've not been to that side of the city. I think even in Ruina, I don't think we've ever gone to that area in the narrative of the whole series, I don't believe. Yep. That's the story. I bet you're all wondering how I got here. Rewind back to the beginning of the game. We need another refresher. Yeah, that's a deep bit of lore. It makes me wonder if the identities themselves, like, maybe if the identities themselves take the memory that they've gained in our realm back into their own, or if like let's say their Limbus Company equivalent who could be getting some of our default IDs and just we don't get to experience any of that. I have no idea. Who could say? It's neat to think about, though. I can't wait for one of us to be randomly called as an identity. AU Hong Lu has a Dante identity. I don't know. How big are these fucking trains? That all of Mephistopheles can just be stuffed into the backside of one. Christ. Ooh. You know, if there wasn't the little preamble saying that we are having to deal with the workforce, being first class would be pretty nice. Each first-class wing employees takes 3 or 4 months of pure raw salary to afford one first-class ticket. It really just goes to show, even that if you are in a wing and a high-up member of the wing, at the end of the day, it's the corporations that are rich, not necessarily the individual people. Like, Christ almighty. More power into the whole notion that, oh, people don't have agency in their own lives. World bad. If they can even attempt to open it. I don't want to see what kind of creature Ryoshi would emerge as. Also, wait a minute. Aren't colors not allowed on warp trains? How's Vergilius gonna get there? I mean, I guess he's also in first class, so maybe. But, like, I thought they were straight up prohibited full sail. At least, like, color class individuals, because their Warp Corp crew can't exactly take them down after 10,000 years of grinding. I mean, there's kind of lava in this, if you consider interdimensional travel in between two realms via warp train lava. Unfortunately, bodily processes do not occur during that, so it would not be a possible answer, Chris. I'm sorry to say. Kind of misconstruing the initial question, but I gotta go with what I have on hand. It's actually weird. It's actually fun they're bringing this up. It's one of the things for all of the IDs that whenever they take another identity, they always have one piece of them that they carry between them in all their versions. I know Merceau's is his belt buckle. Yi-Song brings his knife, and Don Quixote, all of her identities have her shoes. I don't know what everyone brings, so I haven't exactly been paying the most of attention to it, but I did remember Merceau and Dawn, because I remember them being particularly odd. Okay, well, I knew Yi-Song and Dawn, because Dawn's was obvious Yi-Song, I just happened to be the one that's where I learned it from. I remember Merceau because someone told me, and I'm like, why the hell is it a belt buckle? Because his belt buckle is like a chain link. It's like a prisoner theme. I'm gonna be honest, I thought Roshinante was the name of the spear in her ego. Is it her fucking shoes? Great. Thanks. Dawn. Forever relegated to being my least favorite character. But, you know, her arc is coming next. And I may not like Dawn, but I'm very excited to see what they do with Dawn. Ever since Dawn got that beat down by Vergilius, I, had some hype in my heart. Just in case. I'm allowed to dislike someone while still being interested, and oh boy, I'm so excited, because I think we're going to be having one more Walpurgis Nacht, and then it's full-on next Kanto time. Full shebang. We have like 2 months, something like that. We're getting close, like a month and a half. I hope the next Walpurgis Nacht is more straight-up Lobco stuff, because it's cooler. It's honestly something that I've noticed, that because of the way that Ruina and Limbus especially, has to have its mechanics tie in with, like, narrative, the only distortions and abnormalities we see are entities. Things that can fight. Things that hurt you. But it loses some of the magic that it had in Lobotomy Corporation, where it was more like SCP kind of thing, where it's just weird shit. Not all of it is directly painful. Like, some of it is just odd. Like, Old Lady, you would never fight her. You can't fight her. She can't even break out. Old Lady just exists. It's just weird. Lady facing the wall. You don't fight her either. She does a lot of screaming, though. And not even get me started on all the tool abnormalities, like how there's the shelter from like the 23rd of September or some shit like that. Like, that's just a room. I want more of that. It's so cool. Wobco is the most interesting of stuff, and I want more of it. I want the ego resources of the fucking We Will Prevail. Like the little robot dude, like that you just step into and it's an Iron Maiden and you die. I want that guy. Because he's cool. I have not been paying attention to the dialogue, but Merceau is telling us about fashion trends. Which... Oh god. Oh, you can see his belt buckle here. It's a chain link. But... How is Merceau not the most fucking hyped up character? His is the Kanto I want to see the most. More than any other, I think. I mean, Faust is clearly the final boss, and she is in that place. I mean, Honglu, I'm super curious about because we don't know anything about him. I'm even excited for Rodion and Gregor round 2, and even Sinclair round 2, because they're clearly not done yet. That's the whole thing of their arcs, is that they're not done yet. But like, man, Merceau, what is your story? Whoa! I wonder what the name of his office might be, and I wonder whose identity we might have earned. Don't you love gotchas where you get minor spoilers from fucking the random ass IDs? It's just a guy, you know? It doesn't matter. But even still. Oh, interesting. Oh, thank God. I've so grown used to it, but I remember when I even first started doing this, when I was playing this on my own, I remember getting visibly annoyed at the fact that fucking everything is still sepia-toned. Oh, everything is gross. Heathcliff, I love you, but fuck T Corp and your district. I hate it. How do you live like this? A Faust. Faust. Fun fact, that is an actual apt description of what that process would entail. For something to be cryogenically frozen, the fact that ice crystals form and distort the initial cell for which it's freezing is the reason why you die from being frozen. It causes too much cell damage and thus death. But if one were to be flash frozen, and so all of that kind of manipulation of the cellular regions was bypassed, aka flash frozen, you could, in theory, be unthawed and just resume day-to-day life. In theory, of course. There's a lot we're glossing over with that one, but you know. Every time she says Rochinante, I am fucking hearing her default ego, Rochinante, in my ear. Every time. Oh, Jesus. I'm just reminded of the old horrifying thought process of, like, how does, like, Sonic wash his shoes in the fucking Sonic games if he never takes them off? I don't like this lore. This is bad lore. Deeply uncomfortable lore. Is this the Don Canto, or we're learning about shoes? I don't like the kicks. How does a face mask in those tubes work when you have a robot clock for a head? What do we got here? Dawn, Yisong. That's Honglu. I guess that'd be Ryoshu? I would say that's Faust. But Faust is still talking to us, so I guess that would be Otis? It would fit in the name of female, male, female, male, female. Yeah, that's probably Otis then. I mean, the other option was Faust, but... I mean, we're talking right now. Going well. Look at that, we're back at the intro. We made it full circle. I really like the neon blue glow everything has. Very strong aesthetic. Even out here, like the neon blue of the train is punching through the beige. Very powerful. No. 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 Why do they have my man Yisong being the butt of the jokes nowadays? Come on, man. He's been through a lot. He's my favorite. That's ominous. I don't know if we've ever seen, like, a almost forlorn Faust expression before. That might be new. I'm sorry? Oh, here's our first combat node. So that'll be just a second. The fun begins. Nice. How can I deduce anything without first seeing it for myself? Wave of bodies. But just like every one of the intervalo, you have to use certain identities to be thematically appropriate, as well as the fact you get a bonus points. The bonus points for this one are pretty self-explanatory. I think you're going to use the ones that are of the faction that we are currently entangled with. So if we come over here, yeah, we got the warp crew. The other new ID that was actually on. There's actually get two, I think. Yeah, the two that you unlock by playing is Otis and Hisukirip. Otis's is clearly not actively being used. I use her for her passive, if anything, which I don't even have. No. Unless it gets better. Ugh. Let's see here. Wait a minute. No, there's no reason to burn the points on that. What's his passive? Apparently I have it, so let's see here. It is the first deployed ally gets +5 max charge count. Let's go. Nice. Can I make it better? No. Damn. Who's the first one? Why, it's our one and only fancy schmancy new Faust identity, who is, as you can tell, very big, and I immediately dumped way too many resources into her. Get food drive charge count to gain coin power. Get more coin power. Classic. And then here's the relevant thing. This is when they finally start using this as a mechanic. No. Consider passive. Yes. Electrocurrent dismantling. Gain 1 charge every time this unit consumes 10 cumulative charge count. This is specifically charge potency. They're finally making units actually benefit and utilize potency, which is effectively just upgrading your charge count. It makes all of the counts that you currently have better. It doesn't do anything by itself, it just benefits effects. So as long as you never run out of charge count, any charge potency is effectively a permanent buff that the character receives. So every time she spends 10 charge count, she upgrades all of her charge count. At 2+ charge, deal charge times 3% more damage, 15%. If the target is less than 50% HP, deal 25%, even more damage. So she's, before any other effect, she just does more damage. On kill, this unit 2 has the least charge count, gain charge count, stuff like that. That's what this skill is. Coin power +1 for every charge, a max of 4. This is a fucking insane skill. If you can get that to activate. That's a lot. That's 40 charge count you're spending in the most optimal of circumstances. So that would make this a 7, 14, 21, 28. This is a 32 roller. And this is on, a reasonable character. Charge characters are kind of insane. And then she also inflicts... Well, she inflicts Envy Fragility, which is good because all of the normal nukes of charge teams are Envy, not Gloom, which is why this is like a weird element, but that's fine. And at 2+ charge, inflict 1 additional Envy Fragility, which is insane. Envy Fragility helps you with the other 2 units that actually do Envy stuff. And then, of course, she has an Envy Semi-Nuke, which, all nice and good. This is the thing that consumes all your bullshit. It's all good and fancy and schmancy. I think the other thing that's, relevant is... Maybe it's you? No, it's like, yeah, they're, weird, warp units. That's what makes it a weird team. Charge unit, charge unit, charge unit, charge unit, rupture unit. For some reason. And she's a charge rupture unit. And then they're using the backup system from the most recent railway. I know there's a new status ailment. No, not that. What's this? Photoelectricity. When this unit is hit, so this is inflicted onto an enemy, the attacker gains charge count equal to the value. Who cares? Uh, it's a thing called load. I don't remember who does it. I don't remember what load even does specifically. Someone somewhere maybe has it, possibly. Something. I don't remember how, where, when, why, who, what, if. Does it matter? Probably not, but like, huh. Oh well, anyway, use the warp units or multi-crack. Or even better, if they have a warp unit, this is plus 20, and a warp ego, another plus 20. So that's why I have an insane amount of goodness. It's also neat that apparently these 4 units are the only ones that don't have anything related to warp. Also Heathcliff, but he's multi-crack, which is cheating. And now she has a warp unit, she just can't use it right now because multi-crack's better. Anyway, it's also, of course, why you want to deploy her first. She needs to consume 10 charge count, but she also needs to not run out of charge count. So having 25 max charge count means that she's only ever trying to consume in units of 10. 10 times 2 is 20. If you consume 10 charge count twice, you run out of charge. But if you're at 25, you still have 5 left, and thus, you know, Heathcliff synergizes real nicely with the boss Faust. I like her weapons. The double arm with the two greatswords, very cool. And the rest is just a warp team we've seen a little too much of. What do these guys do? Blood bag passengers, looking nice. Coagulated arm, inflicts bleed count, bleed. They heal based off bleed. Bleed, blah, 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 blah. Blood coagulation. Gain 1 bleed count every time this unit is hit. Turn and consume 3 bleed count to gain coagulated blood. Gain offense level and defense level equal to the value. Ooh. Prioritize the targets with bleed. If this unit failed to deal any damage, gain fragile and offense level up, and takes less damage from bleed. Not only do they take less damage from bleed, they heal from hitting enemies that have bleed, aka me. Good shit, Honglu. Nice. That was originally sarcastic, but he actually like won that clash, so here we are. Anyway, say hello to an envy nuke I'm accidentally using on turn 1, I guess. Also, very nice that they've changed the HUD. You can now explicitly see what their HP thresholds for each stagger bar actually are. You can actually calculate, instead of just rough guesstimationing, how close you are to stagger. It's so nice. It's one of those things where, because of how many warp units give each other charge, it's becoming less and less relevant to have Dawn's telepole read up and ready to go, because this thing gives 10 charge count to your entire team. It also gives 5 fragile, and it actually gives 12 count to your entire team. And it was the original thing that made charge the very first, like, S-tier, absolutely broken team. It was the thing that, like, shot charge from being just really good to actually broken tier. Because that amount of charge generation, you know, back then we'd have 5 units. That's a lot of charge. That's 60 charge in 1 button. It inflicts your entire team with 10 rupture. So, you know, there's a downside to that, especially if you're fighting a rupture enemy. Do not use it then. But 60 charge in 1 skill is so astronomical that, like, it broke things. But nowadays, it's not quite as relevant. You just don't need that much gas anymore. But God, having it in the back pocket is so fucking nice. Sometimes you can really just send it. Yeah, Faust is a lot of damage. If you're noticing, even compared to the other, like, debatably the best character in the game. Wow. She does a lot of damage. But then again, a lot of these kind of, why can't I? Oh. So, fun fact, This is a weird bug that has been introduced in this most recent update. For some reason, the game can just fucking freeze, and I need to, like, exit out of the menu to be able to come back. Which is not fun, but what can you do? It's also kind of cheating, because she's the newest identity, and these enemies probably suck and are weak to what fucking multi-crack Office Faust does. Also, this is the best arc now. I love Faust, but man, it is nice to be able to have like this humanizing moment that allows everyone else to kind of step into the limelight. Mainly my boy, primarily. This is definitely not biased. Only imagine how, like, they've got to have some way of like automating this process. Can you imagine the sheer volume of time it would take to manually reconstruct a person from just like a pile of gore? I mean, they're all connected. So if you just like yank on one piece, the whole bit would like come follow you, so you'd at least be able to. It's a vile thought, I know. You'd be able to unentangle it, but Jesus. How much time would this take? Honestly, I gotta say, this double duty of intervalos. Like last time with the Hong Lu lore, Rodion getting another dosage of love. Don Quixote was there, but it's like Rodion and Hong Lu got the love of the time track murder mystery, who had the best assistant character, and this time we're getting a lot of Faust love. Ooh, getting all the lore for the characters that just didn't really have a lot of the sauce, at least beforehand, as much, generally, of course. Yes. Even bloodier here. I wonder whose Faust's identity could be based off, actually. Wonder why they're called multi-cracked. Because they have multiple arms? I don't know. It couldn't be. Bitten? They're fine. Those civilians are fine. You're the main villain, curious child. You did the bad. You think children are allowed on trains? Unacceptable. Just retract that phrase from Don Quixote's ears. Even in the Don Quixote pre-arc, we still need a Don Quixote Wrangler. Even unintentional. Maybe affect my bones being stupid. Go. Okay. Oh, you bitch. That read to me like a fucking charisma check. Like, that was so easily diffused. Well, we finally made it. Fight your directions. Ooh, no more plot. The painting of hell. Okay, I get it. It's like Ryoshu themed, but do you have to be so blunt about it? Abrasive? Non-obtuse? We have new forms. Violent bloodbag passenger into an aggressive bloodbag passenger. These dudes also do the same exact shit. It doesn't matter. The other one, this one does a little bit more bleed potency. Oh man. That, who gives a shit?
할 수 있는 건 다 해보고 오라고. 제가 한 주먹거리도 안 되는 놈들이니까. 방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 눈에 바로 적을 다 밀어버려.
I want to see Faust actually get a charge potency. I want to witness that with mine own eyes. You can see she gets a monstrous amount of charge from that skill, though. She just gained, I think, 11 from that one skill. Not bad. I mean, it's her skill 3, so, you know, not exactly common, but... And then she spends it, boom, charge potency gained. Now, she does more damage. And then she's gonna do more damage. Okay, so her main thing is that she has blunt skills. Well, I can't exactly see their weaknesses now. Now can I? Ugh. She has blunt, gloom, and envy as their primary, like, big damage skills. Yi-Song is so cool. I wish Rupture teams were better. I mean, they're already real good, but like... It's all I want! I want Rupture teams. Yeah, 35% damage. Again, just demonstrably the best behind Yi-Song, who also explodes people. It must be Gloom. They must really not like Gloom damage, if I had to guess. Oh, we've got a story here, buddy. Whoa, calm the roll down, eh? When you know it's there? Wait, what? 20? Oh, we started at 16. What the? Like, why is it so weird? You're 16 to 22, so that's 16 plus 6. So we've done through 6 notes, something like that. I don't know. Anyway, die. I'll actually like take a look at what their weaknesses are now. Oh wow, it's actually not. It is blunt, yeah. Blunt is the main thing. Like the other Warp Corp, the Gal duo over here, that they use Slash. If I was using Rhino Ishmael, I would get a bit more blunt, but that's Wrath blunt, whereas this one is Envy, which she doesn't specifically have Envy nuke as her like skill 3 nuke. But this is also a nuke. This one's also a nuke. So, she gets both. And then the fact that her big skills are blunt, you know, it's kind of cheating. Warp is typically more about Slash. Do they resist Slash? No. They're just losers. They don't really do a whole lot of much of anything. Yeah, the one thing that they do resist is do not try to use bleed on these people. It's not a good time.
그다지 유쾌하진 않고 다음만 생각해. 시시게 공격이 더 무서워지거든. 자, 이쪽으로 가겠습니다. 하나 눕혔네.
Hey, reinforcements. So, I like the reinforcement system. It lets fights go on for longer, but it very much so misconstrues how much you have to do. Because I look at the top left, I see 1 out of 1 wave. I'm like, okay, I only gotta fight these guys. And they're just randomly repopulating with losers. I don't know. Here's a rip space. Yeah, here's a billion damage.
지금 좀 똑똑했다.
Fully unmodified, didn't even hit all heads, and it still did half his health bar. Like, normally you're stacking damage vulnerability and damage ups before you start using your nukes, but we're on full autopilot. He also wasn't even staggered either, so he would be taking double damage then.
네, 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어.
자, 이번은 이쪽으로 보고.
저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
She's now at 3 charge potency. Now she does even more damage.
아주 작살을 내놨어.
쉬시게.
잘했습니다.
네, 결국
Hey there, friend. I noticed you're a reinforcements wave. I'm so sorry for your loss.
죽은 다음만 생각해.
Unfortunately, I've already killed all your friends.
효율적으로. 헛. 잘했습니다.
5 charge potency. That's a lot. And at that point, I think she's straight up doing 25% more damage, which is effectively the enemy always has 2 fragile on, which is insane. She has 2.5 damage up.
계획보다 더 일찍 의뢰를
But
완수합니다.
she alone did half the damage the entire rest of the team did. I don't actually believe that, because that's not how these numbers even out to. But you know what? Okay. Something tells me you're lying. But, like, you know, okay. You're giving me a fib. And before anything else, with all these little skulls and skeletons everywhere, look at this guy over here. As the friend told me, this dude's just the hot sauce bottle from that one episode of SpongeBob. He's just been watching the whole time. How did they get just his face? Like, there's no bones behind him. This is just, they just took his face alone and just plonked him on the ceiling. Yeah, that's a good place for him. Just right there. Yeah. So, Faust, what's the answer? Come on, Faust. Faust, what's the problem? You always love to give us answers when we ask for it. Come on. Fuck you. Honestly, this is the best Faust content we've gotten thus far. New peak for Faust fans. It's very nice, like, Faust not being an endless repository of information lets every single one of the sinners have a chance to shine. It's as if you had, like, a DM that was just giving you the answers to all the puzzles, which, I mean, if that's what you're looking for, yeah, but sometimes it needs to key in information for yourself, or at least see other people puzzle through and answer, you know? Like, you don't want to play a puzzle game where that someone has a walkthrough open. That's Faust. That is Faust, but not Faust, you know, like Faust. Like Faust is the walkthrough and has a walkthrough, but is no longer the walkthrough. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get it. I mean, it's really not that much fun. Look at this guy. He's hidden under the HUD. Look at this guy. But I'm sure that was a shocker to 0% of the audience that, oh man, all of this blood bullshit and crystallized blood and bleed is probably by a blood fiend. They talked about being bitten and having red eyes. Yeah, it's a blood fiend. Who could possibly have foreseen this? They're called blood bags. Like, room's real stretchy still. I always loved blood fiends though. Like, this game series has always been really focused on abnormalities, distortions, ego, light, things like that. But the blood fiends, they're not any of that. They're just something else. I mean, they're apparently similar to a distortion, or at least the blood bags are, so says Dante, but they're not. They're just guys. They're just an aberration from somewhere else in the city or outskirts. I mean, like, we know that they're not a distortion because there is a blood fiend adjacent distortion. It's Nosferatu from Library of Ruina and also canceled from Lobco. Like, there's a vampire effective distortion that exists, and he's clearly a distortion because he fucking turns into a big monster, but like, he himself is not a blood fiend in and of itself, you know. He could also be, but we don't really have a, like, that dude's just kind of weird. Which, by the way, I really hope we see him. Nosferatu is one of the few ones that was unique to Ruina and was not in Lobco, and I really need more of that lore. That's another one I would accept for a Walpurgis Nacht. I mean, maybe not, because, hey, guess what? We're gonna be fighting some fucking blood fiend shit. Maybe not him himself, you know, no spoilers, but, you know, fighting Bleed Enemy Group 1 into Walpurgis Nacht of Bleed Enemy Group 2 may not be the most fun for people at home. And the Vermilion Cross looking good right about now. That's how it happened in Ruina. I mean, they couldn't have foreseen Pluto teleporting people out, or hell, the library itself teleporting people out. But Blood Fiends can't teleport. Okay, that we know of. I mean, maybe. Ah, just a beautiful thought. Oh, okay. Guess we need to have a new Warp Corp ban against Blood Fiends, because that's not good. Loading screen. Is that everything? That's done. Okay. I never want to miss out on story just because I'm a dipshit and accidentally advanced too far too fast, you know? Never want that to be the, oops, sorry, missed a note, everybody. Still believe I eternally... What's going on up there? There a trash man outside? Ooh, there's a trash man outside. Sorry if you hear the banging and cluttering and the clanging and the clashing. Oh, there'll be some clashing, but I mean like trash man versus trash can. 100-to-1 matchup, that one.
이상 승객을 정리합니다.
I believe actually the correct nomenclature is 10-0. Oh yeah, there's I didn't even notice. There's Warp Corp dudes that are blood bags. Now, let me go take a look at what they do, which guess what? It's probably gonna be bleed count, healing from hitting bleeding foes, and gaining congealed blood when they are bleeding, and so on and so forth. Probably, maybe, presumably, presumptually. Let's see. Dude, I like your axe though. Merciless blood bag. Oh, they're cleanup agents, not just passengers. So Merciless and Feral. Okay, they do gain charge though. Gain charge count, gain charge and bleed. Consume all charge to consume. And consume. Okay, they heal HP, or no, they consume charge count to consume their health to gain coin power. And then they heal off of bleeding, so they're constantly charging to hurt themselves to get stronger. All right, fair enough. They do something. When they hit the attacker, use a skill that gains charge. The attacker steals 1 charge from this unit, so they're literally just a battery. Power leakage. Self-inflicted damage does not reduce this HP under 1. I think everything in the game has that kind of an effect if they have self-damage. Yeah, like almost exactly the same. These times they endure Pierce, which, that's something, I guess. Again, it's just trying to imply, hey, maybe use the Warp Corp people. Maybe use our new multi-crack. They don't even have very much, if any, Pierce at all. I heard you like envy damage. Our new identity has blunt damage. Woo!
마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 다음만 생각해. 공들이가 매서워지거든. 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 그냥 바로 척을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지. 하나 눕혔네. 이렇게 눕혀가다 보면 어느새 끝나는 게 싸움.
I think they're trying to make full use of this reinforcement system that they've invented. They're having a lot of one-wave groups. I'm personally not as big of a fan of the reinforcement. Like, it's a cool concept, and it works really well in like a railway type encounter, or when it's like well choreographed. But like, man, it's kind of annoying when it's like this, where I just have no way of actually properly gauging how long a fight still has to go. This feels like I'm being deprived of information, which I mean, I guess, in real life terms, you never know how long a fight's gonna go. But then again, you kind of know how many dudes are in a room. You know what I mean? I just wish there was some kind of an indicator as to tell you, like, whether reinforcements exist, how many remain. Like, that kind of thing is usually added to the game. Like, I mean, the fact that we can now see explicit information on stagger values should have been in the game since, like, day 1, and it's only just now here, but you know what I mean. It may very well still be added. I just wish it was here now, because I hate it. This game's bad. It's okay, take your time.
계획보다 더 일찍 의뢰를 완수했네요. 저와 파우스트의 뛰어난 능력
I
덕분이지만
think we just did blood
여러분의
veins.
노력도
Yep.
나쁘지
Next
않았어요.
is... Alright. That's a post-battle. Oh, we got a lot of friends. And by a lot of friends, I mean it's just the 3 permutations of Passenger and 3 permutations of Warp Corp. Which, they're just blood bags. They kind of do the same thing. I can respect it, though. It's like, it was my game plan in Ruina, is doing what these guys are doing. Dealing smaller amounts of damage with maybe a DOT, but their whole shtick is they're just constantly healing on hit. That was my whole job in Ruina. Netsock inexplicably became S tier for me. Like, just so much healing. You can't kill anything. You can't kill me in a way that matters.
출력 최대치 효율적으로.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
Honestly, I wish there was more healing into this game, too. But the best you're getting is, like, Gregor, Shep Gregor or Base Gregor passive heals a flat 5 HP to the unit that needs it the most. Which, to be honest, is really nice. But I don't know if you've noticed, we have, like, hundreds of HP. Like 100. I think some tanky units do break the 200 barrier, but 5 HP a turn was really good back when you had like 40 max HP. Not as good anymore. And yet I still take it. Like hell, I use Chef Ryoshu's combat passive sometimes, which is like 15 HP on kill. Which, like once per turn too, so if you kill multiple per turn, it's like wasted. Sometimes you're just that desperate. I mean, if you really want to try hard it, you just use K-Corp Honglu. His passive gives out ampoules, but you need a... I think it's a 4 Gluttony Resonance, which is rough for some teams. And it gives whoever has the lowest HP, like 2 ampoules, which heals a percentage of their max HP every turn. And once you get that going, you win the game, you know? Then again, when I was playing Ruina and I was getting to like the hundreds of HP, I was still using like a on coin hit heal 2 HP, you know, shit like that. But then again, fights in Ruina last way longer than they do in this. Which, I'm gonna be honest, this feels like way more accurate to like what the world is meant to be. Like, very high death on both sides, high damage, low survivability. This feels more accurate to what the city as an actual normal denizen would be like. Ruina was kind of a, unique combat encounter for the city denizens, you know what I mean?
계획보다 더 일찍 의뢰를 완수했네요. 저와
What am I actually getting? You know what? Let's take a look at this one. What are these?
나쁘지 않았어요.
Civilian recovery pack. Oh, they're... I can't hover over them. Once we're in combat, we'll be able to actually, like, show them off what they actually are. They are civilian recovery packs. Whatever that means. Hi, friend. When's Dante gonna become a unit? Do it like Punch-Out Wii. If you ever deploy Dante and have him lose, it just deletes your save. Just bad ending, game over, start over. Bye. Well, oh, it's even worse in here. Not really surprised by that. How did he survive in an environment like this? Huh. Well then. The next car. And no more.
잠깐만.
Up to this point, even as you can just see on screen, I've never once had a trouble of hitting like the 10-turn combat limit, which is usually not a challenge until you start getting to like the big fights. Like, even in the last Kanto, the ones that were like the big fights are the one that you had to... Like the one, I think where Gilius comes in. Even like this one where he started that, you saw that all of my clashes were not exactly the most comfortable RNG-wise. It's fine. Go win it in 10 turns. I believe in you. You don't even need to get particularly lucky. Once you get like a foot in the door, if one or two people can win their first clash, even if it's like an unlikely, then they will gain sanity, and then they'll start winning more clashes, and then they'll start taking away those clashes from other people, and so it'll slowly just get better and better for you. And then when someone gets staggered, then you start building up momentum, enemies die, which grants your whole team sanity, which makes their clashes better, and then, you know, and even during all that time, you're still gambling on the unlikelies to eventually turn out in your favor. So you can't just unga and bunga to get your way through. Or you can just miss all of those evades.
결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 공격이 더 매서워지고. 방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 어디요? 두뇌 바로 적을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지.
출력 최대치.
Speeds down. Tango down. See, reinforcements are still coming, and we're only on turn 5, but it's like we've hit the critical mass of sanity. We just start winning.
이쪽으로 모으고
그다지 유쾌하진 않군요. 그래, 결국
And they're out of reinforcements.
놈이 이기는 거라니까.
Goodbye.
잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 그럼 공격이 더 매서워지고.
알겠습니다.
맘
지금이 기회인 것 같소.
시시게.
The next car. Oh wow, you can certainly see some of the bits of fun that some of our Warp Corp friends have had. The axe is embedded in the wall. You know, if they can chip into a wall like that, you'd think they would eventually be able to crack through. But I'd imagine they would have like a thicker layer a bit further down, you know?
의뢰로 완수했네요.
A one-time
저와
fluke, if
파우스트의
that.
뛰어난 능력 덕분이죠.
Mayhaps.
여러분의 노력.
Ooh, we have some crack office dudes. We actually have a new guy type coming in. Big boss man. Is this the guy we saw on the train platform? Is he dead? Probably. Honestly, yeah, probably. Like I said that as a joke, but like that might just actually be him. He was an unnamed random jobber. Who can really say? I don't know. Ooh, he's rolling a 19. Very scary.
저것들 너덜너덜하잖아.
He's not here yet. Once he shows up, I'll try to take a look at him, but not yet.
저것들
No,
너덜너덜하잖아.
still not here.
정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개. 이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
출력 최대치.
어? 방금 좀 똑똑했다. 옛날에 조직에서 싸울 때도 눈에 바로 첩을 다 밀어버리는 놈이 있었지. 하나 눕혔네.
There you are. Bloodbag prosthetic fixer. He's a mechanical amalgam. End Corp is coming to kill you. They gain offense level with charge count. Charge count. Oh, that's a lot of numbers. There's a whole lot of words. Too bad I'm not reading any of it. Ooh. At less than 5 charge count, gain attack power down. At 5 or more charge count, gain 2 clash power. Oh, look at that. And get rip spaced, idiot. Oh yeah, you're getting charge count all right, as I nearly 100 to 0 you.
예사롭지가 않은데? 왜 작전을 내놨어? 하나 눕혔네. 이렇게 눕혀가다 보면
You can put all your fancy schmancy shiny enemies further on into the wave via reinforcements, but by that point all have gained sanity, and they're all gonna just die. Especially with this is like the team the game wants me to use. But then again, this is clearly meant to be something that'd be more difficult for like a free-to-play player, not with the I have absolutely everything in the game, and the things that I don't have I could get right now if I really felt so inclined.
공격이 더 매서워지거든?
I'm just conserving resources now. Like, I do the big cash out when the next season's about to start. Because it halves all of your resources. Like, any nominal ego crates or whatever, half of them are turned into just thread. So I do all my cashing out in bulk then. Same with wall purchase. Like, I use all my, my unboxes then. surprised we haven't run into the glitch where it randomly makes me incapable of, like, moving or clicking or doing things. It happened very frequently, like every other node for me when I was doing this on my own. Which is not fun.
계획보다 더 일찍 의뢰를 완수했네요. 저와 파우스트의 뛰어난 능력 덕분이지만 여러분의 노력도 나쁘지 않았어요.
We just did next car, yeah. And then prosthetic fixers is next. That's a post battle. So we have to... Yeah. Really? Next car 2, prosthetic fixers, which is post battle. Wow. God, we're just flying through this thing. Damn. Oh no, I'm a loser. I don't have juice. Quickly. Ah, good. Luckily, I have just a little bit of lunacy to, you know, throw at this problem. We're lucky. And then while this fight's going on, I'm gonna set it to like auto battle, and then I'm gonna go pee real fast. Not this one. I gotta finish what I'm doing on my own little desk right here, and then I'm gonna click the auto battle and go to bed. So this way, we don't have to wait nearly as long. You get to just watch a fancy animation we've seen 300 times. But it's for the people at home. Alright. Like that, I walk away from computer.
이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
출력 최대치 효율적으로.
저것들 너덜너덜하잖아. 일단 정신 못 차리는 놈 대가리부터 뭉개.
Back, I'm coming back. Just give me a second. Oh! Why are these all hopeless? What happened while I was gone? Are you okay, Ryoshi? Just she'll be fine. Same rule as before. We will eventually win a clash, and that I only need the one for the snowball to begin. Hopeless me all you want. I am not afraid.
하나 눕혔네.
Fear's not a word in my dictionary. It's not a very good dictionary. Honestly, I should probably get on that.
예사롭지가 않은데? 아주 작살을 내놨어.
Yeah, we're still getting strugglings, even on the 45s. God. These dudes are randomly real big and scary. Good for them, honestly. They kind of needed it. Ah, you sure got... I have 4 charge potency. I am so big. Yeah, the big problem with the Heathcliff passive of raising her charge cap to 25 is that you need 7 or 8 envy resources stacked up. That's a lot. That is a very expensive passive, so... But once you get there, it's super free and super nice. Like, we have it now. It's 7, yeah.
내가 눈에 새겨주지. 어디요? 벌써 끝나가는
그래, 결국 마지막까지
내가
서 있는 놈이
눈에
이기는 거라니까.
새겨주지.
잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은
Let me actually check after this. I need to go to like a fight to see, because I knew I'm saying that nothing really happened in between the last episode and the like month later that this episode's coming out on for content to have been added to the game. But I think we have a new WoW tier ego. Let me take a look. Like we have Der Schutzen or whatever the hell the new Heathcliff Heth ego is. But I know I have some new vows. Wow. Wall. Here, give it just a sec.
계획보다 더 일찍 의뢰로 완수했네요. 저와 파우스트의 뛰어난 능력 덕분이지만
Boss battle. Damn, it's gonna take a second. Alright, we'll wait on that for just a moment. Yes. What's the new one? I think it would just be Contempt Awe, which was the stupid claspy hand thing I hated. The one that I fought on screen, the one that I hated, I think that's this guy. Yeah, Gaze of Contempt. Yeah, I learned after the fact that, oh yeah, you lose a clash against him to get access to his ability to make him a fun fight. But I didn't know that on stream. I was tired, it was blind, we'd been going for hours, I wasn't fucking about that. I just fucking clicked Rupture and killed him, you know, it didn't matter. I broke my damn team rule. We're still waiting on the... Okay, I was gonna say we're still waiting on it. You know we're getting the Dawn WoW at this next season, because all of the seasons have been WoWs. Like, you know, Fish and Binds, and then she's gonna get a WoW. I don't think we're ready for Alephs yet. Still, that is a big step up. I honestly think we should go a long time before Alephs become available. But, Sinclair, Merceau, Honglu, and Sinclair are the only ones who don't have one yet. And as you can see, almost every single one of my vows are at up type 4 because they're just that good. They're so good. All of them. Some of them worth it, not as much, but God. Anyway. And I actually have a theory as to what the WoW may very well be. But we'll talk about that once we're done. Hubert, the best assistant, yes. Hey, Dealus. Been a bit. I thought you said you had to work whilst I was streaming. She kind of scared the shit out of me, by the way. I was fully, like, dozing off over here, like, fully in my own little la-la land. Like, there's a cutscene going on, and I just... Poor guy. He's now become, like... He's become a prop for the thing. He's become ribbons. These streamers. But not that kind of streamer, like me. Radical. I mean, we're still doing Pokemon Coliseum 2, so if you're into that, yeah. God, I've name-dropped my current game. People are gonna be fucking so shocked at my, like, upload list if I'm name-dropping Coliseum 2. Oh, Jesus. To be fair, we churned out, like, 5 really short games back-to-back, but... House, be nice. Oh, we've been here for a while. We love the place, you know? It's great here, this time of year. We've been here for an acceptable amount of time. We are. So, Dealus, no spoilers, but have you seen this, fun little, event already? No. Oh! Here, I'll give you a quick rundown once this cutscene's over. Fair enough. I'll give you a quick rundown. We got Blood Fiends, so I'll give the deets here in a second. This is a very cool one. Stick around for the end of this one, folks. So yeah, we've been hired on. We've been hired on by Warp Corp. So we're already on a train to go towards P Corp, which is where the next Kanto is, aka Dawn's Kanto. So thus, this has been a storyline that's been pretty focused on her and Faust actually. Faust has kind of taken over the reins, so it's mainly a Faust one. But Dawn's been there too. We're on our way to P Corp, and we've been contacted to, hey, you get some free tickets and shit or whatever. Help us figure out why people, they say it's a murder mystery, but what it is that people are just disappearing. Like, people on train keep vanishing. Like, once was shocking and Ruina, but it's happening again and again and again. Figure it out. We get in here and we figure out, oh, it's a blood fiend. He's been drinking people, and you know, you can't exactly recombobulate someone when they've been drunk. They even explain how he works. No, it's a blood fiend. They actually even address the fact that people do distort on the Warp Corp, but when their body is fully reconfigured, it just undistorts them, which I'm like, that's funny. The one thing that's been relevant that's been going on throughout all this and why this is more of like a Faust story is because Faust's whole shtick is that she's always been able to access the knowledge of her other selves, you know, all of her other identities, which is why she's so smart. Because we're in this alternative dimension, she can now no longer commune with Faust. Faust cannot talk to Faust. And it's been a big old deal of everyone being like, are you okay, Faust? Is something all right? Because they're like trying to keep this, you know, hush-hush. They don't want to demoralize the team while we're trying to figure out this mystery. And I'd highly recommend it. This thus far has been the best Faust character writing thus far. 10 out of 10, big fan. It's been the big dealio. What else did we get as lore? We learned that the first class cabins flash freeze people. And then the funniest bit of lore, which I did not know, Don Quixote, you know how when she's using her default ogre, she's like, come on, Rocinante! I always thought Rocinante was the name of the spear she was using in her default ego. It's instead her shoes. Her shoes, the ones that she has in all of her IDs, because, you know, each character has one item they carry with them through all of the other IDs. For Don Quixote, it's her shoes, and her shoes are Rocinante, which we also learned she never takes them off to clean them. I don't... Fucking goddamn it, Lord. No, like I said, I always thought Rocinante was the sword thing, because she doesn't fucking talk. Don't fucking at me, okay? I don't need the shit from you. Fuck you. Don't look at the screen, spoilers. Game's also lagging. This actually was not that bad for the because that fucking little pre-battle screenshot of being like, hey, who's here you're gonna be fighting? That does kind of just spoil. Watch your first ego. Yeah, like I was saying, she says it and I thought it was the spear. Fuck you. Anyway, back to it. We know it now. I'm just dumb, okay? I may be the theorizer, but I can also just be stupid sometimes. That's allowed. Hey there, big man. Oh no, it's another Dawn. It's a blood fiend that's not named Elena. Yeah, God, I would not be surprised. Nasty, nasty creatures. Out, okay. This is some shit. This is some shit. There's no fucking way that this is not a Vampire the Masquerade reference in its entirety. He's referring to himself as a prince. Blood fiends apparently have generations, and they're referred to as fucking kindred, and they're just vampires. This is just fucking Vampire the Masquerade. I am 100,000% hedging my bets that fucking Director Son played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines or some shit and just said, boom, we're making this a faction. Oh my god, the best lore. Let's go. No, no spoilers. Like the term kindred. Ugh. The Barber. Interesting. A name to keep in mind, I guess. What is this guy's problem? Elena was way more, like, sensible and well-spoken comparatively. I mean, understandable that he might be having a bit of a food high. This entire area is just a all-you-can feast for a blood fiend, considering the situation. I knew it. The child was evil all along. I was right. Time to die. Who's ready to kick the shit out of Blood Fiends again? Anyone who really hated the... There's a man in the crystal. This dude's living life. Only recognizable body part I see. There's a guy. Why didn't they eat him? It's for style. I do like the gem ribcage spine ass chair that this man has. Very stylish. Very impressive. Gotta say. Oh, here. I don't think I actually need any more of these, but I'll just make one just in case. Off we go. Let's have some fun.
아직 충전 덜했거든.
Any of you who really hated the Elena fight in Ruina, be sure to eat your heart out, because this one's clearly not gonna be as bad. There's no Vermilion Cross just walking into the room. She was definitely not... I can understand each member of the ensemble giving someone the worst of a time. But, like, the worst ones were the first four. Like, one member of the first four, it has to be the answer for the hardest one. Just, you're so limited in your resources, and you have to be so conservative. For me, it was... I think it was just Philip. I think he just beat my ass. Yeah, he was just the initial power hump. And then once I got used to it, it got better. And yeah, by the way, reinforcements, so therefore, you know, the boss that we're here meant to be fighting is not even here yet. So they actually do get to be so kind and generous as to let you build up sanity and any other resources like, I don't know, charge. You know, like the whole thing of this area. It'd be a real shame if the reinforcement mechanic and the fact that there's no boss on turn 1 has proceeded to bite him as hard in the ass as possible. Nope, still generics, nothing new. I hate it when you kill an enemy too fast. Like coin 1 of 3, then you don't get the benefits of the other coin. Like, what if the other coins gave you a bonus? Like, what if they generated more charge or something? You just don't get that, because the enemies are too weak. Little bastards. Also, how dare you paralyze me? That's not nice at all. She just gained 13 charge in a single skill. Sasha Faust is not an okay identity. Is it time? Hey, Sasha, what do we got here? Bioenergy conversion charge inflicts a monstrous amount of bleed and bleed count. Consume 10% of HP on self to immediately gain 15 charge. And inflict 2 offense level down. And 10 plus charge, consume 3 charge to gain 1 coin power. And 15 plus charge, which she's forcibly going to be, consume 3 charge to deal 20% more damage. And 5 or less, you know, gauge. This is what's like more bleed. This is like a cool synergy though. It's a charge unit that spends charge to bleed. Neat concept. I wish they would actually do more of that. Like we have that a little bit with charge and rupture and like I guess charge and tremor with the fucking like Gregor ID, whose office I don't even remember, but that's not real. And then Hard Blood Reflux, which just does more of that charge goodness. This one just does Paralyze and even more bleed count. I'm gonna click the funny button though, because here, let's just see what she does. Anything else? We'll just go through the whole list. Nothing that can really be spoiled here. A basic guard, Hard Blood Transfusion. Yeah. Just all the same kind of stuff, where she just spends a lot of charge. Yeah. And you just get a lot of... Just a lot. There's just a lot. If in panic, reset SP to 0. Get the coagulated blood thing again. Prioritize targets with bleed. Regain fragile and offense up. Power leakage. Tenacious. Versus model, same thing. A young kindred. Take 30% less damage from bleed, rounded down. If the target has bleed, heal 25% of the damage dealt. And Bloodthirst. Turn start, gain 1 fragile and damage up. Gain 2 fragile and damage up. Nice. Get me out of there. We're just gonna click the funny button. Yeah. Do I want to spend the rip space? Yeah, I don't really care. This is not enough of a fight for me to need to be min-maxing that hard. We're just gonna let auto battle kind of play out for now. It'll be fine. It don't hurt nobody. Bye-bye. It's funny that Sasha, the Sasha Faust ID, is better before she became a Blood Fiend. Albeit, I would not complain about having a Blood Fiend Sasha ID. Have you seen what she does? Oh my god. Bleed is like already debatably the best team now because of Ring Song. If we got this would no longer be okay. It's very much so self-destructive because the whole like consume a percentage of your HP to gain just a shitload of charge. But that sheer level of ramping and the fact that it inflicts paralyze and fragile, it's very clearly an enemy exclusive type like build. You are not getting that. Can one of you please do your job and kill the dude who had like no fucking HP? Thanks. There you go. There you go. He's so cool, though. Hey there, big man. How you doing? What do you got here? Grovel before me. The target is 4 plus bleed, clash power plus 1, inflict 4 bleed. And then pathetic one. Inflict 2 bleed count. Or leave me alone. Base power plus 1 for every bleed count on the target. That's all for now. But what's this? Stored blood. Max value of 10. Lose 1 Lose 1 value every time this unit loses 5% of HP. On hit, heal 1% of this unit's HP. Uh-huh. And he's got a lot of health. If he hits you, he heals a lot. 1% of almost 2,000 is still a big number. And it's per hit, too. He's currently using, like, shitty 1-coin skills, but, like, still. It was 17 twice. Not bad. I was playing Ruina and going in, swinging for a on-hit heal 2. This man just healed 34.
뭐야 그 파이팅이다.
Go away. If target is 4+ bleed, clash power +1. On use, deal 5% more damage for every bleed count on the target. Max 20. Inflict 8 bleed and 2 count. And of course, because I have an ally that's bleeding, oh, he's very much so focus firing, eh? But he rolled a 1 on his speed because we inflicted 5 bind. Damn. So we'll be able to redirect those flashes very easy. And we're constantly just chunking away at his HP, so his stored blood's gonna run out real quick. Yeah, here's a 300 damage. And he's getting more and more fragile. Now, here's the real rub. I am the prince of the parade. Let's just wait for that to scroll back up. Attack weight hits everybody, unclashable. On use, double of the amount healed by the Hard Blood Glaive. On use, resets SP to 0. After the attack, gain 10 stored blood. Does not get staggered this turn, immediately ends the turn after the skill ends. So, he is going to fully heal himself. He is going to inflict you with, and I quote, once that scrolls back down, 8 bleed and 4 bleed count to your whole party, and he's going to gain 10 stored blood. So, this is where the fight really begins, and this is the one fight where the whole win within 10 turns is actually kind of tough, because as you can see, we are currently on turn 10, and he's about to get a full heal. This luckily does no damage at all, because it's a 1+1. Like, he has 1 attack power up. Ooh, who gives a shit? This is gonna do no damage. The point is that it's a full heal, and it gives him the biggest buff possible with stored blood. But the way that I found to beat this, because I did this on my second try, because you can see even right now on screen, I did not beat the turn requirement. I did this with Tremor, because on the turn that he runs out of stored blood, if he's staggered, he's just still staggered. Like, you can see how, like, close the stagger bar is to being staggered. That's without Tremor procs. You just stagger him on this turn and then blow him up the rest of the way, because he's already almost dead. Full health. He's a blood fiend, alright. What do we got now? 10 offense level up, 10 defense level up. Not good. Let's take a look at his actual skills now. I wanted to avoid spoiling by just reading what was in front of us. At the turn end, depending on the stored blood value on self, if the value less than or equal to 5, gain 1 bind, 1 fragile, and 1 offense level down every stored blood lost. At the value of greater than 5, gain 2 offense level up and defense level up. This is very scary. If you're using a bleed team in, like, the mirror dungeon, this is pretty scary. Gotta be careful about that. I forget which one it was. Gains a new pattern when stored blood reaches 0 for the first time. Fixes unit speed at 10 when using the skill I am the Prince of the Parade. I've never seen this one, so we can't see it. Hard Blood Glaive. Prioritize targets with the highest sum of bleed potency and count. On hit, if the target is bleed, heal 2% of HP. That stacks with stored blood. That's why he's healing twice. Sanguivore. Coagulation. When this unit has bleed, gain 1 offense level up, 1 defense level up for every 5 bleed. Max 10. Gain 1 clash power up for every 10 bleed. Max 5. Take 50% less damage. So if he has capped bleed, he has 10 offense level up and 5 clash power up. So that is 8 total clash power up. Fun fact, this effect was bugged, and this actually capped out at 10 and not 5. So he would actually have a 13 clash power up. And then it would get even worse if he had this. So it would be 20, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So he would have actually 26 clash power up. AKA, your entire team dies. Don't use a bleed dude against him. This did get patched. This actually does cap out at 5 now, apparently. But, you know, that's fun. Bleed wave, seen that, seen that, seen that. The parade sprints. Gain attack rate equal to the number of targets with bleed, which I think he's doing this skill. No, he's actually not. But well, let's see what he has first. Blood, blood, blood. The target is 8 plus bleed, coin power plus 1. Flash, lose the stored blood. On hit, inflict bleed, bleed count. Target is bleed, next coin deals more damage. On hit, gain stored blood and bind. Grovel before me. Go away. Those are all the same. Okay. His new skills, though, are the parade sprints. Combat start, gain attack weight equal to the number of targets with bleed, which is why you need to be getting rid of your bleed as fast as possible. And you're right, it is fun. I didn't run into it, but my friend Bullet did and said it is the hardest fight to do with a fully optimized like mirror dungeon bleed team. Like a 30, whatever, what number did I say? Like a 39, like a 32, something like that. Flash power bump 31 is such a high number that you actually like have to struggle and use ego and things like that in this fight with the full tilt bleed team, as well as the fact that he has the blood fiend effect, so he takes like way less bleed damage, you know. He's crazy. It's the one thing that slowed bleed down from being the de facto meta and has been for the mirror dungeon for like a year. If the target has 4 bleed, gain coin power plus 1, 3 bleed, coin power plus 1, clash lose stored blood. Yeah. Blood, leave me alone, Prince of Parade. I'm never going back. He'll probably use that later. We'll leave that one just a little surprise. Anyway, we're just gonna click the button and ignore the fact that he's big and scary. Because we need to lose our bleed as fast as possible. We need to be clashing and using as many coins as we can, which is why I'm not using egos. We have to burn through this bleed count quickly. He gains all of his effects when we're bleeding, and the way to get rid of bleeding is just by attacking a lot. Even though I'm now under my stagger threshold and I'm in danger, rip on Lu. He's so cool. We need to use 4 coins to get rid of everything he was doing. Oh, here's the Prince's Parade. I think Honglu might just die. So it's based on targets that have bleed. Let's like to clash with it because we need to get a big heal going. Let's dump that real fast. Let's have some fun. This is the newest ego that came out. We've never seen this one before. Let's see what it does. Before attack, gain highest resonance attack weight, max 6. So you need a lust resonance, pretty much. Before attack, gain highest resonance plus 1, Gaze of Contempt, this turn and next turn. What does that do? Gaze of Contempt deals 7% more damage for every Gaze of Contempt. The effect expires at turn end. At 7 gain, convert it into Contempt of the Gaze. So if you have a 7 attack weight, it does that. Contempt of the Gaze is gain 7 protection, gain 7 damage down, and one of the unit slots gain 20 aggro. So you do a shitload of damage and then become super tanky if you do that, which is very funny for this to be a Ryoshu thing, but you know what? 7 protection is fine. If this skill is part of a Lust Resonance, gain 1 ego resource and affinities corresponding to each of this unit's attack skills. That's just 9. For 2 turns, plus 2 in SP. After attack, evenly inflict 15 bleed between all targets. Sure. What's fast? Whenever this unit uses a base attack skill against an enemy, gain 1 additional ego resource of a random, least owned affinity that does not correspond to the affinity of the attack skill used. That's so fucking good. Oh. And then the corruption, just bleed. Who gives a shit? Let's see. Let's peep the sound, shall we? After I have you do, we're gonna Chains of Other him. Because it's funny.
내가 눈에 새겨주지.
Let's get rid of that bleed, huh? So the fact that Hong Lu is staggered and has bleed is kind of scary. It'd be a real shame if I did this and made it so that he sucked and couldn't do anything next turn. Sorry. Do you have four power down? That sucks. That's unfortunate. Get fluid set.
이 전투는 승리할 거예요.
Right now, we just need to drain his stored blood. He's got like a ton of defense level up, and he gets fragile when his stored blood is low. So you just want to kill him as early as possible.
흩뿌려져. 추악한 모든 시선이 이끌릴지어다.
It's so cool.
뭐야 파이팅이다.
Oh, you're bloodthirsty and you got all these kind of fancy smancy fragiles? That'd be a real shame. Anyway, I win now. Pretty much. She's real low sanity, so this is kind of a gamble, but what can you do? Yo, is your space getting ripped, my guy? Did I hit the worst tails possible? I sure did. This is way closer for Clash than it has fucking any right to be. Nice sanity. I'm never going back. Let's see. His final skill. Unclashable. Doubles the amount of HP up by Hardblood Glaive, or set at speed is 0. Wait, no, that's the Prince of Parade. Fuck. Oops. Yes. I'm never going back. Attack weight hits everybody. Clash power +1 for every 5 bleed on target, which I think we're all completely out of bleed, so it's fine. So all the bleed conditionals are gone. Double the amount healed by Hardblood Glaive. After attack, gain 10 stored blood. It's the same thing as before, but now we can, like, contest it. It's clashable, you know? And, I'm just gonna have a dominating clash against it. Just, like, don't let the skill win and it doesn't matter. Like, after he does the one reset, he's super easy. Because his low blood is giving him, like, 7 fragile and -5 offense level and 6 bind, and, like, he's worthless, you know? 7 fragile is insane. And the 5 attack power down, or offense level down, just solves all of our problems.
뭐야 파이팅이다.
방해물을 제거합니다.
Oh wow, I actually have 0 charge count. So I guess once you gain charge potency, it never goes away. Very interesting. Anyway, here's 300 damage. Sorry there, friend. But thank you for your time.
잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고
Blood fiends are
새끼
cool.
죽은 다음만 생각해. 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
Yeah. Alright. You better stick around, Dealus. You don't want to miss this. That was fun and all, but now's where the real magic begins. You know, eventually.
나쁘지는 않았지. 이제
Nice.
다음
Faust got overtaken, and even then, only barely. Wow. The first... Fuck, I have a mouthful. Give me a sec. The first time ever, the whole, whoa, wait a minute. We can talk about this. Has ever actually occurred and worked. Whoa. There's no need to get violent. We can have a discussion here. Please. And then we actually are like, all right, let's go talk this through. Okay. And the fact that we didn't have the key card implied that we could not get into the... Close down. No! Whoa there, buddy. It's the fact that we didn't have the master key card anymore. So the fact that Faust gambled because we couldn't gain access to the storage rooms, because people can be restored, but stuff can't, I'm presuming. Like, so, well, maybe actually they can, because their clothes get fixed. But either way, the storage container is locked off to the general passengers. We needed that master key to be able to board Mephistopheles. We needed him to open the door for us since he had the key. Aha! And now here's your dialogue. Smart thinking of a gamble there, Faust. Correct. Are you here, DLS? Are you ready? Because it's time. I'm gonna assume yes, there's a bit of a delay usually, but we're just going on anyway. Perfect timing, Dealus. Are you ready? For Don Quixote's character to become way more interesting. How about that? A blood fiend with some kind of a disguise or concealment method, living a feigned dream as either a normal human or a hero that they'd like to be. All of a sudden, the name Don Quixote makes a lot more sense. Living in a land of make-believe, a false impression of a human. All of a sudden, I'm way more interested. I knew there'd be sauce. I never could have guessed. Claire, stop screaming. Ah, okay, and none of it mattered. We're stuck here forever. And this was another reason why we made the Gambit. We had to get to Mephistopheles. Not just for the connection, but... This is actually a question I had raised when I very first began this on my own time, but I didn't... Building that looked like a derelict, abandoned hospital of sorts. In the middle of a sandstorm. And yeah, we can kind of circumnavigate the whole time slowing thing by just not being in the fucking warp train. So, but that seems like an important location, though. An abandoned hospital in the middle of a sandstorm. Keep that in mind. That may be relevant later. That's a lore tidbit, potentially. Honglu is here too. Inside the hidden compartment that the agent crawled into is completely empty. So we've got a few pieces of knowledge to chew on outside of the elephant in the room. We have an unknown individual sewing masks onto blood fiends that is apparently important to them that is known as the Barber. We have an unknown location that may or may not be relevant in the future. And we have an inexplicably disappearing man outside of a warp train. People have theorized that it might have been, this might have been the dude who becomes the distortion,
the Forgone Passenger. It's the Dimension Shredder one that that Hong Lu and everybody has because he's wearing the uniform, but we don't quite know enough. But it could have been. He could have distorted and would have the ability to travel. That's like his whole deal. But welcome to P Corp, and look at how fucking gorgeous this place is. Oh, man. Gonna say it actually reminded me of like I forget what it's exactly called. It's like the King's Garden or something from like Hollow Knight. Like it's gorgeous. Yeah, it's very Floor of Religion Hakma-esque. It's beautiful. And a lot of people have been theorizing like, does Dawn know? Is like what's up with Dawn, because it said she's a second ancestor, which if we're going off the Vampire the Masquerade terminology, that means she's earlier than even the Primogen. She is a direct son of Cain, like tier vampire, so she's real fucking big up that tier list. Then we got to raise the question of who's the original. I really hope he's also named Cain, because that's a really cool OG vampire name. I would have to, like, the obvious assumption is that Don Quixote, as a human, does not know. Because there's been too many opportunities where she could have just popped them off real fast. Like, the fact that she was just completely flummoxed at even the concept of removing Rochinante tells me that there's clearly more to this. It's clearly like a... I would have to assume that it's Bloodfiend Don, like, trying to live life as a human, you know? No matter how fake that may be. Kind of dealio. It fits in with the whole Don Quixote theme as a, you know, correlation. But don't let me forget, I have one final thing to show off once this cutscene ends and before we end off for today. Ooh, Yi Song. He getting in there. But, damn. This was definitely way more shocking than I ever could have expected. I was expecting this to be a big dumb shitpost because like a fucking murder mystery on the murder mystery train. Of course that's the case. No, this was way fucking cooler than I ever could have thought. Oh my god. Hey, Don Quixote. So, are you okay? Do you know what's going on? Do you like sand? We need answers. We've got this, right? We do a lot of that, don't we? Time to find ourselves a golden bow. More like, shut up, Dante. We have a Walpurgis knock before the next fucking Kanto shithead, loser, idiot, dummy, big dum-dum, smellhead. There's no golden bows there unless there is. But no. That's what I was saying earlier. If I had to hedge a guess, because a lot of the times the big facial focal of the battle pass, you know, one makes like some amount of sense based on what's going on. You know, King and Bynes, Heathcliff, like, aha, I fucking get it. I still wish it was fucking Spider of Marriage. I'm pissed about that. I think we could see the rest of them too. Spider of Marriage, it was the big whale for Ishmael, the sadness dog for Yi Song, and then there wasn't one for season 1. I think that the big WoW tier ego is going to be, I don't actually know what his name is. Dracula. The fucking vampire, WoW tier abnormality from Library of Ruina. Like the bloodsucker guy. Because we haven't seen anything about him. He's such a fucking unknown. He's not in Lobco, and he's not in this game, like, at all. There is almost no fucking lore about that guy. He's super cool, and honestly, the moment I saw that, I went back to go read his page, and I could see them not doing it. Like, let's be honest here. I could see them not doing it, but I want it to be. It's tonally really fucking cool, as well as the fact that it's one of the few abnormalities from those games that it's just a big question mark. I want his lore. He's really cool. But this is what I wanted to show off. Ever since the game came out, we have had a fucking hint that Dawn was a goddamn blood fiend. Since day... Nosferatu, thank you. I was forgetting the name. Yeah, I want him. We have had since the day fucking one, we have had a hint that Dawn was a blood fiend. And you can figure that out with her default ego. 6 bleed on hit. Then you heal for the amount of damage dealt. Bleeding and healing. And even more so, if the target has bleed, heal 3 HP. That is literally just a fucking blood fiend passive. 1-to-1, exactly what all of them were doing. Go fuck yourself, Project Moon. Fuck you. Oh. And she's playing with dolls because the doll is herself in the human form. Fuck you, Project. Go. What is this uptime? Inflicts 8 bleed. And then it heals more consistent. Fuck you, Project Moon. I don't have to take this shit from you. Oh. I'm really excited for some Nosferatu of the next season pass. Of course, he's my favorite. He's the fucking coolest guy. He's not even my favorite. I just want to learn more about him, you know? I also want to, learn more about, girl with nail and, hammer, whatever the fuck, Judgment Girl or whatever her name was. It was, the final, Angela form she took. It was like an innocent girl and she had a hammer and nail hidden behind her back. That's another abnormality we have no fucking knowledge on. I want those guys. Like I said, I was saying during the stream, I either want dudes we have no information on, or I want more of the really oddball, just object or thing dudes from Lobco for the next Walpurgis Knocked. I don't want to fight Dare Fry Shoots. That's an entity that can fight already. I want to get Old Lady or woman facing the wall, or shelter from the 27th of September, or some shit like that. Everything will be okay. I want the stupid, dumb, like, gecko shrine that can upgrade your gear. I want that guy. Fucking, I want all the things you can't punch. I want things. I want my SCP simulator back, damn it. I'm time to go do another playthrough of Lobotomy Corporation in between this now and fucking Walpurgisnacht. But thank you all for coming. Here, let me grab this real fast so everyone can experience the unlocking dopamine. Oh yeah, I did this as a joke because I thought it, like, look how fucking cool the Warp Corp logo is. Like, I originally kept my shit as orange because, like, oh, it matches Heathcliff, and then Soda Brioshi's just because it's funny. But I'm like, look how fucking cool this looks. There's numerous deficiencies in this discharge. The default one, when you're not using an ego, does not look as good. Oh, just crash the game. That's cool too. Like, it's how you sung. Like, this one, not as good. But this, like, circular, spinny bullshit, as I proceed to scroll down and click, Soda Hong Lu, that's so fucking cool. I've already foregone my original boy. Can you please fucking go over here? I need to find one that matches. I gotta rock this. Well, like, you'd think would be one of these ones. You know. It's cyan. It actually fits. This is actually one of my favorite ego. This thing is insane for charge teams. This one's great. But, see if there's anything else I'd really want. I think that might be, like, the best bet. It's like a charge ego, too. Yeah, I think I'll just go with this for now. It looks nice. Anyway, that didn't actually do what we wanted. This guy. It said it has an... Oh, it's just shiny. Oh, it's like a ticket stub. Nice. I'm going back to what I have all of my favorite ones currently listed. This is that I was here since day one. Ordeals are always my favorite. The best, the Philip content, the best intervallo, and big shit post. It's all of the 5 best parts of the game. Nice. But that, as they say, is that. I can finally do this. God, that was bothering me this entire time. I hate having a full bar. Thank you all for coming. I want... Oh my god, Dealist. You're so right. Holy shit, dude. You can't just come out... You can't just blow everything I've said all stream out of the water like this. And why aren't you the streamer? You're so much better at this than me. Jesus Christ. I want... Don't touch me, lore. God damn it. Thank you all for coming. I gotta quickly make this a fucking upload this so that way it's on time enough. I gotta fucking get back to uploading Sky 2 and then upload. Oh, there's so many streams I've done. My backlog has grown to astronomical proportions. Oh my god. We have... I'm gonna ruin this for myself. We have... Trails of Sky 2. I still have to upload Yakuza and the final episodes of Day Shift. I have Yakuza, I have Silent Hill 2, I have the rest of Sky 2, I have Tales of Fantasia, I have Katamari Damacy, I have Octopath Traveler, I have fucking Pokemon Coliseum 2. Oh, I'm too busy. Alright, thank you all for coming. Goodbye.